All right, Nikki, I'm taking full advantage of you because I've never gotten around to actually fixing this wall.
Okay, let's see what we got over here. As you can see, my sister, the gym rat, went over and above the Call of Duty with her exercise class and put something through this wall.
That would be my toe.
Your toe.
Yes.
Your atomic toe. So what we did is we put a piece of sheetrock, secured it to the stud, put some mesh tape over here, and now we're just going to blend in the patch to meet the rest of the wall.
And what did you use? Just compound this time, or you're just using the remainder of your...
Compound and a little bit of plaster.
So the remainder of what you did on the ceiling.
Perhaps.
All right. I like your technique. So you're starting from the bottom and you're going up. I think this one's going to need a couple of coats.
This is true, because the patch didn't break even with the full piece of sheetrock. Yeah. So little by little, we're going to let this set. When I come back next week to do the ceiling and paint it, we'll give this thing a polishing coat and everything will break smooth.
It's already looking a hell of a lot better.
Okay, we're going to let this set. And then next week when I come, we're going to polish this thing out and you won't even know that this ever happened.
Yep, your assistant's here with you.
And my assistant is here to help me. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get all the little rough things out. And we're going to take our trowel.
I like the technique. Brilliant. I would have never thought of that. It's almost as smooth as a baby's bottom.
Now this is a deep hole.
So you want a fan on that?
As it dries, it's going to suck in. So we probably will have to do this one more time.
Really? So it's going to sink in as it dries?
As it dries. Everything shrinks as it gets drier.
Huh, okay. I like the technique though. That was pretty swift.
See, the way the knife is passing, you can see that...
It's already dimpling. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So that's we know. And by the way, there's no such thing as a straight ceiling, a straight wall, or a straight floor. You can make it aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but if you were to put a level on it, no such thing.
I see you're applying like pressure.
Well, yeah, because I'm trying to blend this in with the contour of the wall.
Gotcha.
Because you can see. Now, we'll go upstairs, we'll get the small fan.
There, that's at its highest setting.
Much better. I knew those things were good for something.
Ah, my weights. Okay, so this will take a while to dry, right? All right. The assistant is coming to inspect.
And if we're lucky, we'll be able to finish that thing today too. It'll be ready for paint.
All right. The assistant is checking out your work. All right. Looks like he approves.
Okay, we'll let this dry on its own. As you say, a watch pot never boils.
All right, he's going to stand watch.
Okay, now.
All right.
As you can see, this was a deep.
Still not 100% dry.
Yes, but I am
enough?
going to make it now 100% wet. So tomorrow, we'll have to do very, very little light compounding. Now, of course, you cannot sand this because the wet spackling will clog all the abrasive of the sandpaper. But it's still good enough to put in another light coat. And tomorrow is done. Now, when you take your compound from the can, you never dip in like this. You always go
from the edges. Why is that?
Why? Because when you dip in and you make holes, if it's exposed to air, it might dry. And then when you want to use it to, let's say, tape or something with very fine work.
Oh, you got lumps.
You got lumps in it.
Got it.
So as you can see, you see all these little holes here from the way it's going in? Very carefully and very lightly, I'm going to polish this out with my knife.
And I guess we should say what? We had the fan drying this for about an hour?
I would say. But we really need heat rather than air. But sometimes you got to build with the bricks you got.
Pretty funny. This is going to be a perfect patch, and then right next to it I could see that we got some compromise going now to the right of the wall.
What are you doing?
See? Look at the right above the molding. Go to the right. That's your other right.
This?
Yeah, you see it?
No, I don't.
You don't see that paint bubbling up?
No, I don't.
You don't see the paint bubbling up. You don't see this paint. You don't see this bubbling. You don't see that bubble. That's funny. Maybe it's from the.
Now that I'm looking at it from this angle.
Yeah,
yes,
it's the angle.
Okay.
No, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. You're funny. You didn't have to do that. That's all from the water we got going down the wall. One time we had that bad rain. And it never happened again. All right, Nikki to the rescue. It's going to make it look like it never happened. do see a bump that you probably can't see from your angle. Right here.
Right here.
Nope, right there. Good light helps. Yeah.
And that's going to,
Yeah.
again, a deep hole. Going to require more than one application of compound.
Yay. This is not going to be ready for paint tomorrow. I see lumps and bumps.
Nope, definitely not. But let it thoroughly dry overnight.
And a skim coat.
And then give it another skim coating.
Time for the skim coat.
Well, if you want to get in closer, you could see how we cut away the old failing sheetrock, how it sucked in.
Yep.
And now we are going to polish the wall.
So a little sandpaper first.
No, not necessary.
So skim coat.
Yep, but before I do anything,
Let's come a bit closer.
I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to get rid of all the small little nicks and chips. Now, if I was painting the wall, I would sand it because I want it to be perfectly smooth. So I just want to get rid of any rough stuff that's going to stop the knife from making a nice smooth cut.
Okay.
And remember, when we take our compound, we always start from the corners in. Because we always want to have clean corners and fresh compound.
Okay.
Now once you put the compound,
I see the 2-finger technique.
yes, you just want to put even pressure on the knife.
What's that speck in there?
Ah, that's something, a piece of the old sheetrock that's got stuck on the wall. You see how it drags?
Now, why wouldn't you take a bigger knife or trowel that covers more surface?
Because this has got a very, very sharp edge. It's almost like a shaving razor.
Okay.
Now, if I was doing sheetrock and I wanted to get a nice bevel on my seam, I would use the bigger wallboard knife. But for something like this,
See, I would use the bigger one to make it even and smooth, because I still see sort of unevenness, which I think is just going to naturally happen because you have to go back and forth a couple of times. But what if you took your big trowel and you just went up?
Well, I could do that, but I think I'm going to pull off more material.
Really?
Than I'm going to take off.
Interesting.
Because we're going to let this dry.
But what if you went sideways? Still?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing? Interesting. All right.
And then,
all right, your assistant agrees.
He has to conduct a inspection. So now that this is all finished, we'll let it dry. We might have to do it again. We might not. And then we'll just sandpaper it to the contour of the wall. Because remember, there's no such thing as a straight wall, a straight floor, or a straight ceiling.
Okay. All right. To be continued.
Okay, we're ready for sand it smooth.
One final sanding and that's it?
And blend it in with the wall, yes.
All right. I gave you a bag of all different types of sandpaper.
Which is
right behind you.
Oh, right behind me.
Pick your the sanding block itself is also the block itself is also sandpaper.
Yeah, but what I want to do is I want to put the sandpaper around this so I can contour it better.
Oh, okay.
And what we want to do is we want to feather the edges so it blends in with the contour of the wall.
And what grit is that, would you say? 220?
It'll be right on the back of the paper. 220.
Do I know my sandpaper?
It's a trick question.
All right.
Voila, we are done.
Okay. So should I hit it with the Kills primer before
Yes.
the paint? Okay.
Prime it, and then give it a coat of paint
Okay.
of the color of the wall.
All right.
Everything should be fine.
Awesome. We're done. Thank you.